Hello everyone out there on the internet, I'm Jack of all trades, and we are here for Shingeki no Kyojin Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 68. Brave Volunteers. Okay, so, last episode, the cast took a big hit, and I feel the fandom took a big hit as well. That's the heart! No! 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 Please! No! Not like this! No, no, Sasha, no, no, no! Oh, please, please! You can't! No! You... No, oh, no! Don't show me this! Don't show me this! And Aaron didn't even get off his ass to say anything. Oh! Which makes me feel we're heading towards the end game. This kind of is the end game now, you know. And I'm not entirely clear on what's going to happen the rest of this season, or the rest of the show. If it's going to be a season, how long the season's going to be. If it's going to be a movie to finish it, whatever is going to happen. Because basically, and from the trailers and stuff, I expected this season to take place entirely on the continent, but no, we're on an airship, zeppelin, dirigible, whichever one of the above, flying back to Paradis now. So this is going to be interesting. We've got Zeke, and this is all his plan apparently. Though again, Ass predicted, and although Ass talked about this in the comments in a previous video with people about how well according to plan did this go. And they talk about how, oh well, Ileana, I believe her name is, she was meant to make sure that the Karsh and Jaw were out to the fight, but due to Peak running over and hugging, passing on the message and everything, the Panzer squad got them out into the fight. Because they were back in the fight, Zeke had to throw more rocks, which did more damage, potentially killed more scouts. I'm assuming just everyone in the ODM gear with the scout symbol is a scout. We do also have Onyan Kopon, I believe. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation, but we'll see. It's something that's said twice in the show so far. Who's in the Marleyan military outfit, so clearly defected. But no, Ileana is also on that, and she's loyal to Zeke. Again, what is Zeke's angle? What is Eren doing? I said last video, I want a funeral for Sasha, for the people lost on this fight, and yeah, I want them to justify the cost of losing Sasha. And I don't want to linger on that too long, just because I'm expecting this to be a slower episode to sort of let us recover a little from everything that just happened. But I don't know. This could be, I don't know. The deaths have started, I feel. I feel like there are more to come. Right, on that sobering note, let's get into this. 3, 2, 1, play. Armin. The seashell, okay, is this the shot? That might be meant to be the shot that was at the end of the Season 3 credits. 3 years ago. Okay, we're getting the backstory of what's been going on. Also, I think I might be telling that story to Annie, because that's those sort of lanterns in a dungeon-looking thing. Okay. So this is that ship, yep, that was sent. Okay, trying to find out what happened. Armin taking out ships. Did he transform from beneath them, or is this going to be Eren? It's going to be Eren! He's doing the Kruger thing! He's doing the Kruger thing! It's a devil. Which potentially could be tiny little devil of all earth thing. Oh wow, he's just wow, okay, yes, he's not just snapping, but get the boat out of the water so they can't escape. They're stuck on the mainland now, yeah. Hanji, yes! Oh, oh, we're getting some proper Hanji, good. It was very stern serious in the previous couple episodes. Oh, he's terrified. It's a skit, yeah. But those who've been sent by Zeke on this mission are gonna hear them out. Friendly reminder. Again, the attack looks good. The attack looks good. I can never tell whether... Well, you can tell sometimes, but it's pretty hard to tell whether it's CG or 2D in a lot of these shots. Oh, we have crabs. Also, this is on like a rocky shore. Juliana, yeah. Yelena, that's it, okay. Yeah, a lot of them. Happy to accept your invitation. Okay, cool. Please tell me they just have a table with, like, tea set up. Please, please. Oh, what? Okay. I'm showing a lot more expression than last episode, too. Okay. It was in my head to say earlier. I thought about it earlier this week. It would be cool if we get just the scout side of everything leading up to this point. Also, Eren was still here 3 years ago. It had been like roughly a 4-year time skip since the end of season 3. So, at some point, Eren's gonna leave. Again, it'd be cool if we just get this whole episode is just following this side, actually. The scouts side of this. Also, just want to quickly shout out again. Can't really see it clearly on the camera, but Promised Neverland, I've got a poster in the back now. Promised Neverland reactions have been very, very interesting, and I think I'm potentially going to have more to say on them going forward now that I read the manga for Promised Neverland, so if that's put you off watching my reactions, it's fine, there's no spoilers or anything going forward, because it's doing an anime original story. What? But please go check those out. Especially if you watch season 1, because I'm curious to find out people's thoughts on season 2, especially anime-only people. Yeah. Brave Volunteers, chapter 68. Curious how many chapters we're going to have. A huge lady. Okay, yes, this has been... Everyone's hair is getting a bit longer. Oh, we're seeing more Sasha! No! Oh. Armin's hair was longer still, yeah. Eren. And because there's basically no Titans left on the island, I imagine they've just been taking over tons of it. Oh, gun that they don't need to reload after every shot, yeah. And they do just have cups of tea, yes! Just dishing out the stats and stuff, that's what you need to know. Aerial warfare. I like to think that was just in their heads there. Okay. Oh, okay. Not necessarily. Okay. Okay. Zeke. Oh, that's an image. Okay. Someone of royal blood being referred to as a god again. So glad we're seeing more stuff on parody. Flock. Historia. Zachary. Pixis! The lines around his eyes dialed back a little bit. Okay. And we have one of those. Yeah. Oh, so this is what Eren deliberately kept secret from them before when he figured it out. Dinah. Zeke's mother, yeah. Dinah's son. Yep. Again, amazing that one moment at the end of Season 2 that felt like a bit of an ass pull is this central key plot point. Brilliant writing. Looks at Historia. Mm-hmm. How long has Zeke had this plan for? Nile! Brave volunteers. Okay. Without their wireless radio. Oh, I love the quotes. Get them onto like lifeboats. Armin. Oh. Oh. Get them to jump off their ships. Oh. Brilliant. Oh, I can't wait for Matt Mercer to say that in the job. Onyanko Pon. Okay. Yeah. God. Nice. Okay, and again, that's another different version of the story with Devil of All Earth. Was it a Titan? Huh. Nico's. Okay, he's still not 100% on their side. There's a different type of meat. Oh, Sasha. Why are they showing me this knowing what happened? Or what's gonna happen, you know? He's blushing. Oh. Oh. With like, it's got a scope. Yeah, they'll just have all this like soldiers stuff because they jumped off the ships. They didn't sink the ships, so they can take all their supplies and weapons. Yeah. Swing trains. Oh. Oh, that's brilliant. Really? Right. Oh, is that one of the cans from like Castle Utgard to the language written in? Or the different language that Ymir was able to read? Yep, which they don't want, but because of Eren's actions. Armin sees potential for a peaceful resolution. He's not even looked up at them yet. He's just still firing. We need time. Okay, right. Ugh. I wonder how truthful Armin was being about Bertolt's memories not being useful. Mid-card, but we're towards the end. Again, I'll hop over to the Attack on Titan wiki to get a translation for that at the end. Graveyard. Oh, of course. Yeah. It goes both ways. Oh. Yeah. Oh. But that meant the world, man. Oh. Oh, wow. And is that's the little girl? Is that the little girl that she saved? Please. Dungeon. Underground dungeon. No. Wow! Okay. Everyone's a devil. But if Yelena specifically sees Zeke as a godlike figure, might be willing to lie about that. And all these guys holding these guns now. Oh, out in the woods. There was a bit of Levi in the woods in the trailer, wasn't there? Where are they? Okay. Take off your armband, kid. But Gabby's... yeah. That's a way to look at it. Yeah, it's totally talking to Annie. It's propped up, but can she hear this? So where do you go from here? You guys that day, yeah. Has her hair grown? If it's the same as the Warhammer, I've forgotten her name, Tiber. She was conscious. She was aware in it. She could look around. Fight. Oh, that's one heck of a callback. That was the Battle of Trost, wasn't it? Carrying the boulder. Fight, fight, fight. Oh no, this will not end well. It looks like there's a fair bit of time left, so I'm gonna wait this out. Let's see if there's a post-credit thing. Again, might just be preview. But I'm gonna jump back and scrub through some of this, just double check the odd line. But I don't think I've got too much to say, just off the top of my head. Again, I'm glad we got a bit of a calmer one, and it gave us all this backstory over the past 3 years. Again, we don't know exactly when Eren left. We don't know exactly when Jean left, or what. I think it might just be the preview. And this glowing like tree imagery in terms of which I assume is paths and the coordinate and everything. That was in the trailer as well, so I wonder if that's going to be a literal thing, if that's going to be a dream thing, or what's going to happen with that. And preview, yep, okay. Right then, so I'm just going to, like I said, just jump back and sort of scrub through this. So Armin is telling this story to Annie, not sure of whether or not she's even like conscious and aware in it. Lara, that was her name, Lara Tiber, was like aware when inside her Titan Chrysalis, but then again, seemingly she manifested that with eyes open, whereas Annie sort of made the hard skin stuff while she was crying. So maybe our eyes are just stuck shut. I'm curious, I'm expecting, because it's the only way I could think of, there are only 2 ways I can think of for Annie to get out of that, being something within her own power, or Eren now with the Warhammer, with this advanced, complex, really creative, who knows what, Warhammer ability that's all hardening based, so I'd assume maybe he'll have some way of doing that. Because again, only way we've seen thus far is you take the Jaws Titan, you crush them, and you drink it. But I'm not sure. I'd assumed up to the start of this season that Annie would get out of it somehow and be on Parady's side to sort of help balance it a little. But ignoring Annie, we have Eren with the attack, founding, and Warhammer, which is crazy. We have Armin's Colossal and Zeke's Beast, seemingly all on the same side. Armin seems to sort of be on Parady's side, Eren seems to sort of be on his own side, and Zeke seems to sort of be on his own side as well. It's still not entirely clear what's going on, specifically with Zeke and Eren, and then on the other side, the cart, the Jaws. And the armored Reiner. Though how long Reiner's going to last, I can't say. Especially with Falco and Gabby going as well. But no, Armin's telling the story, and I wonder if it's, again, if he thinks she can hear and understand and is just talking, or if this is just his way of sort of venting and just talking things out. He's just sort of sitting in this room with Annie, and if that's perhaps some remnant of Bertold echoing forward to Armin, because he had that big crush on Annie and everything that never came to fruition. Except Attack Junior High. Again, amazing show, which I get. I don't remember if I said this in a video, but I said it on an Instagram story a while back. I think 2 weeks ago or something. I really want them to do another season of Attack Junior High, but with all the characters from the show. Like, after this season ends, I want everyone all at the same happy-go-lucky chibi anime high school. I want everyone to get along. I want everyone to be friends and have goofy adventures where they're trying to get cheeseburgers back from the Titans, and the Titans sends a love letter. It's a great show, and I want to see all these characters happy and alive and wholesome. And also, I might do a video on that show down the line, probably once the season's done, or at least once we take a break from the anime if it pauses for a bit before getting the second half of the season or the movie or whatever. Because there's a lot of stuff in that show that's very tongue-in-cheek references to things that hadn't happened in the anime yet, that I'd love to cover and break down. It's a lot of fun. But no, so Armin's telling this story. We get 3 years ago title card. And also worth noting that people in the Marleyan military who aren't strictly speaking Marleyan do not have to wear armbands designating their race or anything. It's just the aliens. But no, the ship getting lifted up. That's a callback to Kruger. That's great. And again, also shows how far the Marleyan tech has advanced since then. Because it was lifting up like wooden ships back then, and now it's these big proper metal battleships, which is something I also want to address. I said this back again during season 3, part 2's reactions, once we got the reveal of the basement and the journals and everything. Oh, if this was how advanced Marley was, however many years back I figured out it was, imagine how advanced they'll be by now. But it's been a great point because I was like, nuclear weapons was going to happen, sort of World War parallels. But no, because, and I love that was a key plot point for the, I suppose, Marley arc, the first half of this season so far, was because they had Titans, they were so reliant on that. Now the rest of the world is advancing and is sort of ready, the era of Titan supremacy is at an end and all that. So I like that their tech has stagnated a bit as well because of Titans, which is a parallel to parody, I suppose, that their level of technology sort of stayed at roughly what it was before the walls were built and then developed specifically for fighting Titans because of Titans. Because of Titans, their tech sort of stagnated, and because of the interior military police and all that, keeping things quiet and killing people. But Marley's tech didn't advance much either because they were, because of Titans. I could have phrased that better. The ship comes up, he sees Eren. It's a devil, yeah. Which makes me wonder if that's perhaps how Eren got to the mainland, if he just transformed, picked up a boat, put it down, got on. Just sailed across. Hello, friends from Marley, welcome to Parody Island! Hanji's amazing! Watashi wa Hanji. Amazing, best character. And I love that they did have tea ready. Great. And he just yells for them to shoot these guys, don't worry about him and everything. But they have Yelena on Yankopon. I'll get more used to pronouncing that. I'll practice it this week for next week's episode. But they and a bunch of others are all here ready, somewhat under Zeke's orders. Hanji just staring down the gun barrel is an aerial warfare. And to get Hanji and Levi's little look at each other is great. I wonder, I mean, aerial warfare, but I wonder if Eren mentioned seeing in Grisha's memories, like the Zeppelin and stuff, and that's what they went to go, Grisha and Faye went to go check out. Even then, Eren likely didn't understand what it was necessarily either. Why haven't they come over? They were at war with everyone else, and also, if they flew over and dropped down Titans, those would then be in the way for a ground assault, yep. And realizing, again, Yelena's very, very observant here. The sun's coming up, it's almost dawn. And the fact that you're not sort of concerned about that means that the Titans, you must have killed them all, and I assume that they have, for a fact, killed all the Titans. Well, she says, is that true? To which Hanji looks sort of surprised at her intuition there. But Levi goes, and what if it is? You're going to report it to Marley? So perhaps they have sort of a Sonny Bean setup going. Because when they rode out at the end of Season 3, Part 2 to the sea, they deliberately left that one that was crawling really slowly there and put its hand on its head, a true patriot and all that. Or fellow patriot. Perhaps they have just rounded up and like captured, again in a Sonny Bean sort of situation, or that time they used the net and stuff against the wall. Perhaps they have just round up all the remaining Titans on Parody rather than killing them off. Because again, that was sort of Levi's thing at the end of season 2, when he heard Hanji and Connie's theory that people of Rakugo were turned into these Titans, he was, so all this time we've been killing people. So I could see that if there is a hope for turning them human again, because I can't imagine they killed Connie's mother. I think it's unlikely they killed again that fellow patriot who was slowly crawling along. So I don't know. I get the feeling they probably haven't killed off all the Titans. And then yes, Yelena's shocked by that. No, it blows away my expectations so that they managed to kill all these Titans. And we cut back to Hanji, sort of sweat bead, and then moves on, change the subject. And the second reason? So maybe I'm expecting they haven't killed off all the Titans. Though other than research, I suppose, and the potential hope of being able to save them down the line, which I don't know how I feel about. I'll talk about that in a moment anyway. But I don't know what reason you'd have for keeping them alive. Actually, I don't know how I'd feel if they could turn everyone who was turned into a Titan back to human again, because it's sort of I don't know. I could see it be within the Beast Titans wheelhouse, or even a Royal Beast Titans. Like if Zeke gets the founding as well. But then again, he's royalty. But then, is he a descendant of... Yes, he's a descendant of Fritz, because Dinah. So, no, well, the First King would overtake him as well. Carl. The will of Carl would overtake Zeke. Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel if we could turn all the Titans back. I'd like it if Connie was there to see it, I think. If Connie could see his mum again. That could work. I don't know, I just feel like it might take away a bit of the punch, a bit sort of the this has happened, this is fixed. People, it was a punishment and there's no way to undo it. Sort of a Nina Tucker sort of style thing. Just realised I should have mentioned spoilers for FMA there. I'll have added that in post. So Hanji goes, if you guys are secret agents who infiltrated Marley, I'm guessing you came from conquered nations? If you're going up against Marley, I bet you've got big backers. We're not secret agents or anything of the sort. We were powerless. Marley took us from our homes and forced us to be soldiers. We were close to losing hope at ever striking back until we met him. I get the colour filter on this whole image. I want to, if it didn't have the blurred edges vignette effect, I'd love to see this as a solid image, just pan up from the sort of greenish blue water up Zeke, up the Beast Titan. A Titan that people of the world feared, calling it a devil. But I saw something completely different. A god. A god, one that gave hope to the powerless. So just seeing his strength. Yeah. Okay, so they were in the Marleyan military for a while, fighting their wars, their battles, until they saw Zeke and sort of... But yeah, that face, sort of looking up, reminiscing, thinking of Zeke, I'm curious. Faith makes people do crazy things, so I wonder if Yelena might be playing everyone and is doing stuff specifically for Zeke, or if Zeke's keeping her out of the loop a little. Under Zeke Yeager's command, we shot our superiors. We're the anti-Marleyan volunteers. Roll credits. And then Hanji, so they delivered a message with Zeke's requests. We get this nice little debate where we see Pixis again. I'm recognizing some of the faces. I think we might have seen some of these guys before. I might be wrong about that. But no, Darius and Historia again. That's great. Historia doesn't get a line in this episode, I don't think. Just look shocked. But Darius is here. Pixis is here. Looking a little bit younger, just because the lines around the eyes have been dialed back a little. And we get Niall as well. I'm glad to see Niall, because we got more of him as a character throughout season 3. That was great. And then even in season 3 part 2, we just cut back to him and the others waiting for him to come back. I love Aaron's reaction to it, and Armin sort of looks over and realizes Aaron knows something's up. Yeah, why did you keep it quiet for so long? Because he was worried what they do with Historia. But they didn't have another syringe to have used on Historia anyway, but had they got one eventually, they could have used it, yeah. But if that's really true, then Zeke's plan holds up, yeah. To which Niall responds, are you nuts? You trust them? And this other guy jumps in, yeah, we can't have all those soldiers on the island. So Zeke's plan was to wait for more of these Marleyan ships to come across and keep all the soldiers on parity, try and convince some of them to his idea, to our side, the scouts' side, parity's side. The wireless radio, in air quotes, oh, that's great. And then we just get Armin's transformation, because you knew he had to have transformed before that point on Marley. He has to have learned, he has to have practiced. Out in the water, the wave, the Foley. I love that as his Titan turns there, you can see the light from the other side sort of shining through the rib cage. That's great. Yeah, so I think Armin's sitting here telling all this to Annie, holding the shell like that. This has to be what the season 3 end credits little image. This has to be what that was a reference to, right? Because I think it showed like not out a window, but, like stone archways and stuff in some sort of building. It showed that with a blue sky, and it showed this, which I assumed were both at the same place. It's going to be underground, whatever building on parody, perhaps. Because again, this has to be. It's the same outfit, it's the same pose, it's the same seashell you picked up all those years ago. But not everyone across the sea was our enemy. And we found out that the world itself was complex and full of unknowns. And Onyan Kopon sort of smiles, sort of starting to get along with them as well. And Sasha asks, by the way, why do you have dark skin? Because our creator thought it's more interesting with a mix of people. Oh, and then he's talking about God. That's great. That's a pretty touch. I'm glad a character addressed that, because that's not been brought up at all in the show. We've had the Oriental clan and everything, but it's more or less just been the one race within the walls on Paradis. I'm glad we had someone actually go, by the way, actually ask, and they all look sort of wide eyed. He talks about a creator and stuff. That's great. You subjects of Ymir are the same. We exist because we were wanted. Okay, cool. Who created us? The one who gave the founder Ymir power. God. That's what some people believe. Aren't we free to think what we want? Which clearly resonates with Armin as well, because from years back and everything, reading the book, one to believe. Yeah, that's great. A great little scene. I can imagine there being almost uproar if they'd cut that, because that's a great moment. And cooking all this seafood. Oh, and they're like building a port, building a harbor. That's what that blueprint was. Ah, and Yelena sort of getting along with them as well. Here, Sasha's love of food. Grab 2 lobsters, just ripping into them. I've never had lobster. You're a food genius. Oh, the port will be finished soon, thanks to the Marleyan engineers. Building it's been quick. They've sure been cooperative. Yeah, so I assume Zeke helped nudge in a certain direction what sort of people were sent. But given enough time, if we set aside our labels and see each other as people, we can understand each other. Attack on Titan, ladies and gentlemen, all those people who were complaining back in like the first 2 episodes of this season that it was promoting fascism and stuff, I think kind of missed the point. Armin, have you seen any of Bertolt's memories? Yeah, but there's nothing that seems helpful. You might be being honest about that, because getting Bertolt, Reiner, and Annie and Marcel's sort of side of the story, which I assume he's already recounted to them, but... And I can understand Aaron's point of view on this, that, yes, with time, we can change things, people can change. But Aaron's point of view is, yeah, but we need Zeke for this. And Zeke's running out of time, so we can't really afford that. And they're questioning Yelena's plan. Is using the rumbling to threaten the world the only way to protect Eldians? Again, it's probably not the only way. Okay, in terms of other solutions, given time, everyone seeing each other as equals and everything, that could work. It should work. It's a better way of saying it, actually. but time sensitive in terms of Helena's plan needing Zeke, Zeke's plan needing Zeke. So thus having to wait wouldn't necessarily work because we needed Zeke. Problem with everyone seeing each other as equals and stuff is that's all well and good, but the thing with Eldians is also there is the possibility that they could turn into a Titan and just have this immense power over others. But it's if the nine didn't exist, if Titan shifters didn't exist, and it was just, Eldians, when injected with Titan spinal fluid or ingesting Titan spinal fluid, will turn into a Titan. That's fine. You kill off all the Titans. Titan spinal fluid is out of circulation. No one can turn into a Titan. But because there's the 9, and when one of the 9 dies, the power gets passed on to an Eldian child yet to be born. Because of that keeps it in circulation. Which is sort of the big problem that I cannot think of a solution for. Which, again, leans towards it being perhaps more the devil than God that gave Ymir the power, because it is sort of a curse on mankind, a plague on Ymir and their descendants. Then we will be the devils to terrorize the world if we go and do this follow Zeke's plan. Before it comes to that, can't we talk? If we can fix Marley and the world's misconception, the world sees us as monsters who can turn into Titans. They're not wrong. There are Marleyans who like us too, Mikasa points out. And points out how many? Most of the Marleyans here are sitting in the prison cells. But given time, but Zeke doesn't have time. Yeah, that's right. And to buy us that time, we've got to keep them at bay. So we've got to do Zeke's plan to delay them, to prevent them from coming and attacking Paradis by threatening the rumbling and giving you time to change people's thoughts. But once, because Eren and Zeke are both basically, because Eren had, was it 8 years left in season 3, part 2? It's been 4 years since then, so Eren has roughly 4 years left, I think. And Zeke, in present time, has 1 left. And Historia is the only one of royal blood left, I think, unless Annie is also, but I doubt that, having met her dad now. But we'll see about that. Because once Zeke's gone, then you don't have a royal Titan. It's sort of the big issue there. Unless Zeke's had a kid, perhaps. He's got that set up. And I hate that transition from Eren firing to Sasha. But it's so on point. That is exactly... That's a one. I can almost imagine if the show, if the anime, perhaps the manga did this edit as well. If this edit didn't exist, someone would have made it. Because of Sean pointing out last episode, Eren, it's your fault Sasha died. You got the scouts involved in this. So him pulling the trigger. Great moment. Thought I understood Eren better than anyone, even Mikasa. But I don't know anymore. And then there's the mid card. Let me just check, because again, the Funimation translations of these aren't great. The Attack on Titan wiki, who are generally very reliable for this. Okay, they haven't got the overview or summary of the episode up yet, but they've got the translation. Scout Fleet. Formed to investigate Paradis Island after the operation to retake the Founding Titan failed. The first fleet embarked in 851. Over the following 3 years, approximately 4,600 soldiers were aboard the total 32 ships, and destroyers were sent. Ships and destroyers were sent to Paradis Island. However, not a single one has returned to Marley to this day. As Zeke and Magath were talking about, and Zeke. So even then, Zeke was sort of throwing Magath off the trail there. He said, it's like, oh yes, well, with the attack and Colossal Titan, they must have just wiped out all the ships. Zeke knew. That's one of those great, again, moments of story writing. This is a phenomenal story. I can't wait to read it all once the anime's over and I have the disposable income to buy the rest of the Colossal editions. And Mikasa's sitting alone at the graves, presumably just after Sasha's funeral as well, because there's the flowers and cards and stuff left. I assume this is just after the funeral. Mikasa's sitting alone. Aaron's not here. And some military police upper guy, which I can understand. Yeah, it's a graveyard full of people who've died as a result of Marley. And they explain to him what happened to Sasha and everything. I love that line. It's too ridiculous to be true. Connie's line about Sasha and them basically being twins. It feels like half of him's gone. That's brilliant. Yeah, so Sasha's dad, the hat as well. And I think that's gotta be the girl. That's gotta be that girl from the village who Sasha saved. I wonder if he's perhaps adopted her. And I wonder if this is Sasha's mother or not. Or perhaps he's even from crying over the grave. I don't know. And again, Nicolo's little moment there. Nicolo's moment of, please, come eat my food. And they shake hands. That's great. Reading the newspapers. That's, again, sort of a parallel between Marley and Parody. And even, you can look at what the people are wearing in the streets. It looks like people sort of mingling a bit more. I've cosplayed the Beast before, and it wasn't a great cosplay. I was still making it on the way to the con. I want to do Zeke at some point, and I want those custom glasses. Him and Levi again sort of having this somewhat cordial, not particularly, conversation between the two of them. So taking Zeke to the woods. I want to double check what they say. If I send your dead body back to Marley and reveal your little plot, your Gramps and Granny are done for. Yep. But if the secret plan of yours is real, I can't wait to chop you up. That's a key part of Zeke's plan. Either way works for me. I appreciate your graciousness, but don't I get to meet Aaron first? I wonder if they're... Don't be in such a hurry. We've got to find his hotel and then take some to the forest of giant trees again. That location keeps coming back. I'm curious if they're intentionally keeping Zeke and Aaron apart. Now that Zeke's limbs have regrown and everything. And we've got a lot of the serum now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, assuming the box is symmetrical, 4x3, so 8x3. We've got, and then one in each of these cases in the looks of it. We've got at least 3 syringes. We got all this while we were over doing the wee Marley arc. She smiles. Yelena is sort of keeping a straight face, and the rest of them are all wary of having guns trained on them while they're talking here. But once Pixis brings up, it's like, oh, we need to keep Zeke on a tight leash for now, so we hope you can pardon our cautiousness. It's fine, Commander Pixis. We'll dine at the same table again soon. And that's when she smiles. This is my hotel? It's a forest of giant trees. I can't think of a better place for you. I love and Zeke's just face looking up at it. Might be lots of fun with ODM gear. And he sort of asks to see Gabby and Falco, essentially. So I wonder what we're going to do here. Because again, we have Levi flying around killing Titans in a forest in the trailer, so I wonder. And it's a good transition. It's not a perfect match, of course, but sort of the forest then transitions to the bars of the prison cell. That's nice. I hate but love that they're both sitting there still with the armbands on. Because Gabby wanted, like I was saying last episode with her wee speech, she wants to be able to wear it with pride. This thing that marks her and differentiates her from everyone else. Armin brings up, Aaron would have done it alone, whether or not we helped him, the worst was always going to happen. Had the scouts not come to help Aaron, well, Zeke would have been on Aaron's side. So, yeah, I was going to say, I don't think Aaron could have beaten the cart, the jaws, the armored, the beast titan, all, and the warhammer all against him. I don't think he could have won that fight. But given that Zeke was actually on Aaron's side there, so it's 4-on-2, but it's the attack is sort of the founding and a royal, all they would have needed to do was high five. Their titans just run up to each other, shake hands, They could start the rumbling at any time. So, yeah, the worst was always going to happen. But unless that port, yes, Armin's destruction of the port also stops them coming after them. Whether or not they need time to rebuild, they need to rebuild a lot. They don't have the ships. They don't have the port. I didn't even realize that. And just like you guys that day again, brilliant. Danny, I can't tell if Annie's hair is grown or if that's just again the different art style and stuff. I'm also curious. We cut back to Mikasa sitting with her back against the grave, and then we see what's written on it. I wonder, are we meant to know whose grave this is? Or is it Sasha's? I don't know. And they take pains to show us him, to show his breath here. He just took a really cold shower, cold water from the sink and stuff. And again, fight. Great. Okay, that's me scrubbed through. There's nothing else I particularly want to address about this episode. Really solid. It didn't give us the funeral. It didn't justify. It didn't give me what I wanted at the end of last episode, but it was a solid episode. It did basically everything it needed to. Yeah. I don't. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play devil's advocate and just see what the next episode's title is without looking. It's episode 69 next. A sound argument. Okay, that sort of title makes me think that might give us the justification. Zeke and Erin's plan, what was going on. Exactly what their end goal is to a certain extent. Yeah. Okay then. I've been Jack of all trades. This was Attack on Titan, season 4, episode 9, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, season 4, episode 9. Things have calmed down, but they could. I don't know. I feel like we're not going to see Marley for a little bit, because assuming this is at least a day later, but I have to assume like a day or 2 or 3. Let's say 3 days later from last episode. There was them flying back and having the funeral and everything. Peak, being a shifter, will have had enough time to have physically healed. Same with Falco, Galliard, same with Reiner. So the 3 shifters should be back physically and ready to fight. Reiner mentally, who knows? I imagine Porco's been a bit traumatized by that crushing of Lara and everything. But I imagine that they might want to come back to fight Reiner to protect and save Gabby and Falco. But I can't imagine the Marleyan military will do much. Well, actually, no, because we have, again, Magath is still alive. He might be ready to seek vengeance, so they might be coming sooner than we expect, perhaps. I fully expect to see them all again later this season. We've not seen the last of Marley, despite their hopes. They've delayed them enough. I even wonder if the threat of the rumbling would be enough to stop these guys if they're fully driven now to avenge everything that they lost. I do wonder about Colt, because Colt basically he was the second line of this season. We had Falco looking up at the bird, get away from here, it's not safe, and everything. But it was Colt running in to save his brother and stuff. And he's meant to be inheriting the beast from Zeke. Zeke sort of took him under his wing and stuff to a certain extent. Wasn't entirely honest with him and everything. But I don't know. I don't know what to expect from Marley going forward. I don't know what to expect from Paradis going forward either, or Zeke's plan, or Erin's plan if that's the same as Zeke's plan. And But again, next episode, a sound argument makes me think we're gonna get more explanation, more of their side. And I feel like I'm gonna have to go for Onyankopon's. I'm probably gonna have to go for his face for this title card, just because I loved that little talk about God there. That was really good. And again, it sort of goes for the whole Marleyan explanation stuff. Okay, even though again not Marleyan, just a Marleyan soldier, or soldier in the Marleyan army. Right. Yes. Before I start rambling, and I want to get this up relatively quickly. 25 minutes past 11. Okay. I've been Jack of all trades. Until next time. Bye.